Here on board the Newstrack, there are a slew of Chinese apps that have emerged that are offering instant loans to borrowers in India. The interest rates are high, but the fact that these apps give instant cash from 1 to 50 rupees, going up to 5,000, 10,000 rupees. But here's the flip side. The apps lure customers to take more loans, and then failure to repay leads to blackmail. This is a story I very strongly suggest you see very carefully, because whether you know it or not, this is happening to people around you. This is an India Today special investigation.
Digital Shylocks, swooping down from China, partnering with local accomplices, and deploying unauthorized money lending apps since March. The lure of instant loans during the pandemic, and once their Indian clients had them in their bank accounts to make ends meet. They are caught in a vicious cycle of never-ending debts. Unable to repay, several borrowers committed suicide after they were harassed and threatened. That's how Indians have been scammed by Chinese money lending apps since the virus lockdown last year. Many of them mushroomed on application stores. Some of them were taken down, but they reappeared in new avatars.
The modus operandi of these mobile money lenders is very simple. Once you download their application, irrespective of whether you avail the loan facility or not, they get hold of your contact database and your gallery. Owing to exorbitant interest rates, which are well above the RBI norms, most times customers are not able to pay their dues on time. This is when the contact database come to their help, which is also their safety net. Using the contact database and the gallery photos and videos that you have in your phone, they start harassing you, your friends, and your relatives.
Based on a complaint, 2 Chinese nationals and 6 Indians have been arrested in Bengaluru alone by Tamil Nadu's crime branch for running an online loan racket. Police say the suspects used 8 different lending apps. Their targets were cash-crunched people. Such arrests have been taking place across India. More than 17 people taken in from Hyderabad and Gurugram in connection with illegal digital loans. This came after 3 people committed suicide because of harassment by employees of these apps.
We have written to the major payment gateways and we have sought data from them regarding the apps, what are the volume of transaction. Initially, we got a set of data from one of the payment gateways, and the total volume of the data at that point of time which we saw was in excess of about 20,000 crores at that point of time.
The RBI has cautioned borrowers to verify background of entities offering loans, online or through mobile apps. It mandates digital lending platforms disclose the names of banks and non-banking financial companies upfront to the customers.
Digital literacy holds the key, and so do stricter privacy statutes and law enforcement to stop these loan sharks from fleecing gullible borrowers. With Ashish Pandey and camera person Aparna Govindrajan, this is Sai Kiran Kannan for India Today.
Cybersecurity expert Jitin Jain is with us on the Newstrack. Jitin, now this is very spooky. How I found out about this phenomena was when this happened to the husband of one of the ladies who works with us at home. And then I discovered that this is happening, started probing, discovered just the scale at which it's happening, and realized this is not an isolated phenomena. It's happening now across the country. Give our viewers a sense of why these mobile apps, these Chinese apps, are being able to pull it off. Because when I look at the Google Play Store, for example, and see some of these apps, it's obvious as daylight that this is a scam. And yet, because there is the lure of easy money, there are people who believe that, this is where they could get money at the end of the month when their salaries are running out. This seems to be an easy place to tap into for easy cash.
Rahul, this has been happening from last couple of years, and this originally started in China, where a lot of such scamming apps mushroomed over a period of time. Because you see, in China, getting a loan from a bank is very complicated. You have to go through strict compliances, and it's all state-regulated entities which are operating there. So suddenly, some private people discovered that if they could offer easy loans instantly, they could capture a big market. And this is the same market which ultimately the Ant Financial, the Alibaba group, captured, for which they have Jack Ma has disappeared now. And that is the problem of Chinese government, that a lot of this private lending has gone into the private sector hands, and it has created a problem for the national sector banks. So once Chinese government came down heavily on these private apps, they suddenly found a way into India and other developing countries like Indonesia. Now, after pandemic, people have lost jobs, people are out of money, and all these apps, I think there are almost around 300 apps what we know of. And mind you, not all of them are Google Play, Rahul. Majority of are operating from private websites, so that they can, and most of them carry malwares to steal your galleries, photo data and stuff, because Google otherwise will not allow them. Now, the model is that you offer small loans like 10,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, and the target audience is students, working wives, youngsters who otherwise would not go to bank and get a loan. And once you get a loan, like, so if you want to apply for a 10,000 rupee loan, they take your Aadhaar card, they take your bank details, addresses and all, they steal all your data. And within a week, you are asked to pay back the loan. And that is after deducting 3,000 rupees from the original amount. So 30% is already gone. Now they come that you pay back the amount within a week. Otherwise, they will create WhatsApp group of your friends and families. They will abuse you, name you. They will put photos of your female family members and write whatnot. They will threaten you. So it is a 3 level of things. They are running proper call centers funded by Chinese companies. Most of them are operated by Chinese individuals or Chinese companies or are Chinese replicas. Now, first level is harassment. Second level is threat. Third level is blackmail. And there are people who have borrowed 10,000 rupees and they ended up paying 2 lakh rupees within 2 months. And even after paying 2 lakh rupees, they're still being blackmailed. Now, the problem is that most of this entire financial market in India, this micro lending market, obviously there are rules that you should upfront tell the customer that who is the bank or NBFC you are registered with. But majority of these apps are scamming apps. You don't know who has invested, who is running them. There's just an app on the Google Play. You just fill your details, you get money in your account, and then you're harassed from a call center. Thousands of employees have been hired in India running call centers just to abuse people, and they're rewarded if they make customers cry and when they blackmail. So the problem is that we have to regulate this financial app market now, and it is not only about loan apps; it is about betting apps. It is about this fantasy games, Rahul. This is nothing but a digital satta and digital gorakdanda hawala which is going.
I want to hold you there. Talk about how the Chinese government has actually dealt with their own apps, because this is originally Beijing's headache. They've now passed it on to us because they clamped down so strongly against these apps in their own mainland, which is why a lot of these shady operators have now moved from China to India.
I think the first we heard was from additional CP of Telangana, Ms. Shikha Goyal, who investigated this entire scam in Hyderabad. And when they found the Chinese link, see, some of them are directors, some of them are directly Chinese entities, Chinese apps. Some of them are Indian guys running Indian apps, but the coding is done by Chinese software development companies. You see, the original scamming idea is from China. Once you go out of business in China because Chinese government is coming down heavily, then you have to find some market. Once you know how to make easy money and con people, you will do that for the rest of your life in other countries. So that is why, almost around this 300 apps, almost around 150 are linked directly or indirectly to Chinese people. Now, Ant Financial, which is the Alibaba group company, which is under now Chinese authorities scanner, they were also running the similar thing. I mean, they were obviously complying with all the regulations. They were charging not the exorbitant rates, but the real banking rates. But before, and how you have to understand, how did Alibaba realize that there is a market over here? It is through these scamming apps. When they found that thousands of crores are being distributed from these private lenders by conning people with high exorbitant interest rate, Alibaba came up with a regulated framework that I will offer you a loan from a private bank with a very nominal rate. Now, Chinese government at the moment does not want to do anything, does not want to allow any private entity to have any say in the financial sector. They just want state-controlled banks to operate. And that is why all these people are now going out of business in China and they're landing up in India, Indonesia. Okay. Pandemic has given them a wonderful opportunity because people need money right now.
Fascinating insights. Love the thoroughness of your knowledge. Thank you very much, Jitin Jain, for joining us on the Newstrack. I want to shift attention now to the deadlock between the farmers and the government on the new farm laws. There was the 9th round of talks. The stalemate continues, unfortunately. The key sticking point is that farmers want the 3 laws to be taken back. The government says that this is not possible today. The centre gave 2 options to the farm union leaders, to either form an informal group for dialogue or to let the Supreme Court decide whether or not the government's moves were good in law. Our National Bureau with this story.
Day 44 of the farmers' agitation and round 9 of the talks hit a dead end today. While the next date is January 15th for talks, there is little hope of a breakthrough.
सरकार अभी मान नहीं रही, सरकार अभी मान नहीं रही और ना किसान मान रहा। एमएसपी पे वहाँ पे कोई चर्चा नहीं हुई, वहाँ पे चर्चा हुई है बिलों पे वे संशोधन की बात करना चाहते हैं, हम बिल वापसी की बात करना चाहते हैं।
The government has given 2 proposals. Number 1, to form an informal group with members from the both sides. 2, day-to-day hearing in Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court deems the law as illegal, then the government will repeal laws. Both the options have been rejected by the farmers.
सरकार ने कहा भी 11 तारीख को कोर्ट में है, पता नहीं कोर्ट में क्या है, हम नहीं कोर्ट के बीच में गए। कौन गया कोर्ट में, उसका काम होगा, हमारा कोर्ट का काम नहीं है। हमारी तो लोगों की चुनी हुई सरकार है, इसी से हम जो फैसला करेंगे इसी से करवाएंगे।
The 9th round of talks that lasted just a little over 3 hours hit a stalemate right at the beginning. The farmers pushing the government to make their intent clear on repealing laws. The government digging in its heels over the laws.
वार्ता में तीनों कानूनों से संबंधित ही चर्चा होती रही, लेकिन कोई निर्णय आज नहीं हो सका। सरकार का लगातार यह आग्रह रहा कि रिपील के अतिरिक्त कोई और विकल्प अगर यूनियन दे तो सरकार उस पर विचार करेगी।
The intent of the farmers was made clear in the meeting itself. One of the farm leaders sat with a placard which read, "Ya to marenge ya jeetenge. Either we will win or die." Now the big question is, what now? Because the farmers are refusing to take the apex court route. Bureau Report, India Today.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.